Good morning, everyone. Today is day 3 of our Kentucky adventure. And before we leave the Daniel Boone National Forest area, we are going to take a walk around the Natural Bridge Arch State Park. Go check out the Natural Bridge. Now, this is something that used to be just called the Natural Bridge, but they're in the middle of reclassifying a lot of this stuff. So this is now the Natural Bridge Arch. They have made the distinction that for them, sorry about the sun, they made the distinction that for them, a bridge is a natural structure that had to have at one point spanned across water. Well, the Natural Bridge has never spanned across water, so they tacked on the word arch at the end of it. So, interesting. Alright, I wanted to share some of these staircases with you guys. Check this out. That's pretty cool. So, from where we parked, you do like a little hike along a stream, cross over a suspension bridge to where the gift center is. So hiking up from there, you're presented with two options to get to Natural Bridge. We are taking the one that would be on your left hand side, and it goes about 0.7, and the other one goes 0.5. The difference is the 0.5 is the original trail to Balanced Arch, or Natural Bridge Arch. The 0.7 is going to take us by Balanced Rock. So, figure take a slightly longer trek and check out another feature that this park has to offer. It's decently cold out this morning. It's probably like right around freezing, but it's still kind of muddy, so have to watch your footing. This is pretty cool. This is like the very typical rock feature that we got used to seeing when we were in the Red River Gorge. So very cool. So I have to say, in my time of coming to Kentucky, I haven't really explored this part of the state too much. Usually when I'm in this area, I go to Lexington. So seeing the Daniel Boone National Forest, and now coming here, it's definitely a very different vibe and feel than if you are in other parts of the state. I mean, look at that. Like, that's freaking impressive. Some of these rock formations, and we've seen a lot of this, like the way the tree is growing right up along the rock. Some parts of this, it's really interesting. Like, I get a very like Catskills of New York kind of vibe mixed with like the Pacific Northwest. It's very interesting. But look at that rock. It's awesome. Like, how can you not enjoy going for a walk in the woods and seeing things like that. And same with this. Huge, huge cliff faces. Like, that thing is massive. So our 0.75 climb, we got through the hard part. Like, it's hard to see now because of the trees, but we are pretty much level with any of the other mountains that are nearby. We've been walking on top of this ridge for just a little while, not just a few minutes, not long at all. But imagine that we would be getting close. There's a sign up here, so we'll see what that has to say. But this is one of those places that it's a pretty rough climb getting up. And there's like drop-offs like that. So it's a decent one. You alright?
Yeah.
Alright, that just says Balanced Rock Trail. So Sand Gap Hoods. Okay, so we don't want to go that way. We want to go that way. Alright, so here's what we got. Some of the signage is missing, which is a little surprising because the trail maintenance here has been fantastic. But something that's interesting about this that I didn't know until we got here is this is part of the Sheltowee Trace Trail, which is basically Kentucky's long trail, mid-state trail. Like any state that has their distance trail, that's theirs. But we're gonna go this way and see what we can find. Alright, so after roughly a mile climb, a little less, we've gotten to our view of the Natural Bridge Arch. That's what we walked across. When the trees have less coverage, I'm sure you get to see a lot more of like what's underneath.
I was like, oh, I get access. I wasn't sure if you had the girl.
But very cool. We're on our way back from the viewpoint of the Natural Bridge Arch, and it's actually not too bad of a walk, just going over to that area. If you don't want to hike up, they do have this chairlift. It's just your basic skiing chairlift. I do not know what the fee is to use it, but yeah, for anyone that doesn't want to do the hike to get up here, which the hike can be sort of rough depending on which way you go, this is a really nice option. Unless you're terrified of heights, then that might not be such a good option. But coming past the lift this way, we're backtracking over to the Natural Bridge. So we're going to cross over the top of it, back over to the trail network that we came off of, and start making our way back down to the parking lot. But as with the Red River Gorge, I highly recommend checking this place out. Very cool. Like, just really awesome views, cliff sides. That's the viewpoint that we are at to get a profile shot of the Natural Bridge. So we just crossed the Natural Bridge, which is part of this guy right here. Came down the steps right over there, and now we get to go through this. And this is going to take us to a view underneath.
Alright, so if you have a limitation of any sort, claustrophobia, small space fear, not going to want to take the original trail. You're going to want to take the trail.
Now there are parts of this that I can. I'm standing normal, shoulder width apart. I don't know if I can spin the camera around. Well, okay, but I'll give you a shot of Panda coming through since
I'm wide load.
there are spots where I was able to stand sideways like this.
Yeah, but I'm wider than you.
But that's pretty cool. They had a nickname for this that we saw somewhere. I don't remember what it was though.
Pinch and tight?
No, this is not. Pinch 'em Tights at Red River Gorge.
That's something you want to coming down.
Ah, awesome. And there you go. That is the Natural Bridge Arch.
When you guys were named, did you do the ladder trail?
No, I don't think we could have. A lot of the trails are closed because the birds were
Oh, okay.
falcons.
Yeah, there's a spot on the ladder trail we got straight through that.
We could go to the trail. We wanted to get a view of it the whole time. We were over it.
Now, the skylift parking, I don't believe is where we want to go. This has been marked pretty well. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the original trail, and that'll take us back down to where we split originally. But actually, there you go, a little perspective. There's Kurt going back to the squeeze from a distance.
She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart.